So the new Nintendo Switch was so bad that I had to come out of YouTube retirement just to make a video about it. It's that serious. Honestly, I think by now it's clear what I've been saying for years is true. Nintendo is a greedy company riding on its former glory and milking its fanbase, who are just too loyal for their own good. Now on the surface, the system doesn't look that bad. The display is a decent upgrade. It's a 1080p 120Hz screen, but even that is a weird choice. Like, why not an OLED display? Are they saving that for the next few years when sales dip so they can drop the Switch to OLED? Are they already thinking that far ahead? And the 120Hz thing is kinda pointless. That's mainly for competitive FPS games, and not the laid-back single-player stuff that Nintendo is known for. It's not like we wanted this. 120Hz comes at a cost, because devs have to turn down the visuals in order to hit that frame rate. We're already seeing this with Mario Kart, which looks like it could be a Wii U game at this point. And yeah, I know that Fortnite is on a Switch, but I highly doubt that that's going to be able to run at 120 FPS. If you look at the Xbox Series S and the PS5, what they have to do to achieve that frame rate, it's very unlikely that the Switch is going to be able to hit that. The Joy-Cons got a bit of a redesign. They've got this new magnetic mechanism which looks cool. Some people are worried about it breaking, but I don't really think that. I never really had a problem with the old ones though. I thought they were totally fine. The thing I did have a problem with was those C-sticks. They were insanely easy to get stick drift. People had to replace them once every 1 or 2 years, so I don't think they fixed that at all, so that sucks. Then there's the chipset. It recently leaked and it's an NVIDIA Tegra T239. This is an 8nm chipset from 2018, and I mentioned this in a previous video and people were coping so hard, telling me that it's fake news, it doesn't matter, or that the DLSS will magically fix everything. But no, they really did it. They put in an underpowered chipset from 2018. The laptop equivalent to this is the RTX 2050. So expect very mediocre graphics, and honestly, at 7 years old it's already so bad. I don't know how bad it's gonna get 5 years from now, mid-cycle. It's really gonna be interesting to see how the system holds up over time. You've probably seen clowns on TikTok claim that this is 4 times more powerful than the PlayStation 4, but that is totally false. It's nowhere near that powerful. They're looking at the T-flop count, which is not a valid metric. What I mentioned as the true power comparison, which is an RTX 2050, and for anyone who's curious, the PS5 is equivalent to an RTX 2080 Super, so huge difference right over there. But let's talk about the real reason why people buy Switch, and it's the games, those first-party exclusives, the Nintendo magic. Except there barely are any this time around. This year we're only getting one exciting new title, and that's Mario Kart World. I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty fun, it's pretty cool. It's like an open world Mario Kart game, but that's our launch item, that's it. The original Switch launched with Breath of the Wild and shortly after Mario Odyssey, which were both Game of the Year nominations. Breath of the Wild could have been Game of the Decade, that's how good it was. But all we're getting this year around is just a slightly bigger, prettier looking Mario Kart. And that's not enough, especially when you consider how it's been 16 years since we got a new Mario Kart. Most people will be happy with the old one, and it's not worth shelling out $600 at launch just to get this. And the third-party support this time around is interesting, but who here was really sitting on the edge of their seat waiting to play Elden Ring on the Switch? Same with Cyberpunk. These two games have been out for a very long time. They were launched on PlayStation 4 and Xbox Series S. So anybody who wanted to play them should have been able to play them by now, unless you're really broke. So yeah, I don't really understand why people are so excited about this. Chances are you've already played those games, who cares about playing it a second time? All in all, man, this thing's $700 in Canada, and I'm not spending that kind of money on outdated hardware and a weak launch lineup. Maybe I'll grab one in a few years after the price drops, or maybe when, the new Smash Bros is out, but it's gonna be a tough one. What really bums me out though, more than anything, is how far Nintendo fans are willing to go to defend this stuff and how low the bar is for them to get excited about things. You guys have heard about the new pricing model where they're considering charging $90 for a physical game, and I guarantee you the next mainline Mario or Zelda game is gonna be that price. That's crazy that they're the first company to do that. People thought Rockstar would be the one to do it, but no, Nintendo is the first to do it. To launch old games from the Wii U to the Switch 2, like it's crazy, just the type of stuff that they're able to pull on people, and people will go miles carrying water just to defend Nintendo for it. Nintendo is already making crazy profits on the console, and you're probably like, well, aren't they supposed to make profits on the console? But I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but like Sony and Xbox, they did not turn a profit on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X at launch, because they were expecting to make the profits back on the fees they make selling games, and they realized that like they need to make a high-end console if it's gonna keep people excited for 8 years. But Nintendo right from the bat is not even trying on this console. I'm not hating on Nintendo, I don't dislike them. I actually used to own Nintendo consoles and play their games exclusively up until a few years ago. But when I see amazing franchises get held back by this type of stuff, I don't know, it makes me feel a little demoralized. Nintendo, I think as a company, is falling. They got really lucky with the Switch, but they're definitely not gonna have that luck with the Switch 2. I know that the pre-orders are selling out, but like pre-orders are really easy to manipulate. Like they might have just done that to make it look to investors that they're doing well, but a couple years down the line, this console is really going to struggle, and maybe then Nintendo will actually start trying again. Thanks for watching, guys. I haven't really posted in a long time. Sorry about that. I think it's been like 2 months, but I will be posting more often starting now, and I also want to look into making like different type of content, maybe a face reveal, who knows. See you in the next one.